to the channel BmacBusinessEnquiries. Today I've got a video on a door module. We're going to be repairing the door module again. Now I've done a video on this previously, but this one is more of a permanent fix, and it will fix your car permanently. That's all it is to say, really. The common problem with these door modules is that the door light doesn't come on, or the alarm goes off, or it locks itself and all that sort of stuff. So what we're going to do here in this video, I'm going to show you how to fix that once and for all. Don't forget to visit my website, add me to Facebook, Twitter, and all that good stuff, and leave a comment down below if there's anything you want to ask me or anything like that. So just here's a few things you're going to need to do this job, to repair your microswitch. You're going to need some sort of screwdriver set. As you can see, I've got like an electrical screwdriver set. I use some electrical cleaner, soldering iron, obviously, and some solder. The microswitch, which is what we're going to be replacing I should say, and some super glue. So here we are with the door module itself. Your one should look something like this. And if you haven't seen how to remove these, it's on one of my other videos. I'll put the link in the description on how to remove it and how to take it out. Okay, so just take off the door handle mechanism itself and remove the spring. Like I said, once again, all this stuff is actually in the other video, and it's all pretty simple stuff. So this is the reason why you're going to need the Torx set, because there's a few different sizes. But once you've done it, just take your time, unclip it and remove it, and it all comes apart into two sections, a mechanical side and an electrical side. Okay, so there's the microswitch we're going to be replacing. Can you see it in there? It gets quite dirty in there, and that's what stops it from working. Okay, so this one comes with two tabs. They're all slightly different, but this one comes with two tabs. So I just use the Dremel just to grind off the locating bolts. So I could just push it out of a screwdriver and it comes apart from the mechanical side of the door module. There you go, it's nice and separated. Okay, so now we're splitting up the electrical side of this door module with your Torx screwdriver. It makes it so much easier. Just keep your screws in a safe place. Most of them are the same, but there are a couple of different. So splitting it is really easy, as you can see I'm doing here. Just open it up and all the mechanisms are there. Make sure to be careful of it, because you don't want to split the PCB or break anything. So just take your time and be careful. Remove that the brown cog there, which goes on the motor itself, and inspect the circuit board for any cracks or anything damaged. Just have a look around it, just inspect it for anything that looks like it shouldn't be there. So there was a little bit of corrosion on this connector here, which is the microswitch connector, as you can see there. Just take your time, clean it off, just clean everything up, and all we're doing is inspecting it and making sure, you know, we can see everything and everything is as it's supposed to be, and if it isn't, we'll correct it. So at this stage I just cut off the microswitch itself and unsoldered the connectors going into the microswitch location. Now it's important to remember the way it's been organized, the polarity of it, or the setup of it. So the red wire is at the top and the blue wire is at the bottom, and that's the way to set it up. This one had a metal kind of clip connector in it, so I had just cut it off and pulled it out because it was being a bit resistant. But they're not all like this. Some of them are just, they just solder and drop straight out. So do what you got to do to get it out without damaging the PCB. Okay, simple stuff. So once that's done, you should just clean up around that area with the same electrical cleaner, and just keep everything tidy around there, because you know, when you come to solder on your new connection, you want it nice and clean so it doesn't break, or you get a cold solder joint, so to speak. So this is what it will look like once you have cleaned everything up. Okay, so here's the microswitch part, the direct replacement. This fits directly in the place of the original part. This is available on my website, www.BmacBusinessEnquiries.com. You can buy it from there, international delivery available, and it fits directly into your old module. Really simple, excellent stuff. So now we're just putting everything back together. So put the connectors, the wires in a corresponding points. Just a bit tricky, two-handed. You could do something else holding it, but you know, you'll work it out to get it in a way that you can actually solder it. But just make sure it's in properly. Once you've got it in, you're going to need a solder iron. I just tip the solder in and soldered this joint on. Now my soldering is not perfect, but I'm learning. But you know, you can loads of videos on YouTube on how to solder properly, but you know, just solder your joints on and make sure you get a good connection there. Heat up the surface first and then just add your solder onto it. Now I saw a few other suspect joints, so I just added a little bit of solder to them as well, just to make sure they hold well and make sure they do what they're supposed to do, because these are known to crack. So while I'm in there, I just made sure I did everything else. So now this is the mechanism side. We're just giving it a clean up because a lot of grease and debris gets down there. So making sure everything is clean around there, because we're going to be super gluing the module into its location there. So we have to make sure everything is clean and ready to go. So, you know, putting it back together is basically the reverse of taking it off. You put that brown cog on, sit it in its location point. As you can see I'm doing here. Be very careful because you do not want to break the PCB. You've just wasted your time if you have. Put this locking mechanism, this is another part of the locking mechanism. Make sure you got it in the right orientation, else it will not work. And then with your location clip that just goes on the bottom of the two cogs, just slightly raise them up and slip them into place. There you go, so it holds it all in place, and just give it a little check to make sure it's all sitting correctly and there's nothing binding or not moving as it should be. Everything should be moving pretty freely, just needs to be held down a little bit. Next, we're installing the lock part at the top there, and make sure this is vertical so you can see the orientation of the key, and it needs to be in between the two micro sensors, as you can see I'm showing here. Make sure it's all vertical, and when you twist it they actually touch the micro switch, they actually engage in the micro switches, because this is what tells your car to lock and unlock when you use the key. So just make sure everything there is corresponding as it should be. So now back to putting on the back bracket. Make sure your lever is in the down position, as you can see it there, and just check that everything's working as it should be. You should hear the motor going up and down manually, but you should be able to hear it. You should be able to hear the mechanism going, moving. So once you've done all that, it's just a matter of putting it all back together. So now this is where we've cleaned up that part at the bottom there earlier with the electrical cleaner. We're just going to locate the micro switch where it's supposed to go. So you just make sure it's sitting where it is. Once you've got it there, if you've got this type of micro switch set up, you just glue it. Just use some super glue and hold it there. And make sure you keep it in its place, you know, put loads of super glue in it, you know, it doesn't matter, as long as it holds there nice and tight, because you know, there's going to be a lot of slamming there, but this should be more than good enough to hold it there. But just make sure it's in a secure location. You can see I'm doing there, and hold it until you're happy. See, that's exactly how you do it. So once you're happy that it's held down and it's, you know, it's there securely, just put everything back together, and it's just the reverse of taking it off. Really simple stuff. Use your torque screwdriver and just tighten everything up. Now make sure, intermittently make sure that everything's working, you know, just grab the mechanism side and just have a look around it, and that's it. That's your door lock module repaired permanently. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.